I'm going to stand up and I'm going to influence and I'm just going to be me to the fullest. Because it's also with my approach, you know, it's a certain point of a level of like frustration because waiting for everyone to agree may take too long.
Right.
I'm not going to sit inside of a corporation for 20 years. The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
People look at champions and try and find something that that champion has that they don't have. And he's like, but it's not that at all. He's like, they lack something everyone else has, which is an off button. They just don't stop. And at the end of the day, like, if we're optimizing for outcomes, then the most broken person will win. The person who has the absolute biggest, desire for achievement, the absolute biggest fear or pain that they're running away from, and the hardest impulse control. Now, impulse control, most people would agree is a good thing.
Who knows how much more efficient? 10 times more efficient, 20 times more efficient. That's the Pareto distribution. You have no idea how efficient people get. It's off the charts. Well, and if we all got our act together collectively and stop making things worse, because that's another thing people do all the time. Not only do they not do what they should to make things better, they actively attempt to make things worse because they're spiteful or resentful or arrogant or deceitful or homicidal or genocidal or all of those things all bundled together in an absolutely pathological package. If people stopped really, really trying just to make things worse, we have no idea how much better they would get just because of that.
One thing important is that we all have these moments in time that either make you or break you, that can determine the rest of your life. The rest of your life can be determined by one simple decision. 19 years ago, 300 pounds, I was spraying for cockroaches. I made a decision to try to be a Navy SEAL. My whole goal was to go on this path every day after work and to run a mile to a mile and a half. This rock was about the 0.5 mark in my run. This rock was a moment that should have broken me. I got 0.5 into it. I weighed 297 pounds. I sat on this rock and I had a decision to make. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. There wasn't some inspirational quote. There wasn't nothing. It was me, myself, and it was freezing out here. I had to make a decision. The decision I make was to get up and keep on going. That one moment changed the rest of my life.
Greatness is here, but it ain't on Cam's shoulders no more. It ain't on Farley's shoulder no more. It ain't on Bo Jackson's shoulder no more. Now greatness is on whose shoulder? That's why I wake up every morning at 2 o'clock, 2:30, because I got my mama counting on me. I got my sister counting on me. I got my son and my daughter counting on me. I got a world that gets up every morning and watches me. I got little kids who don't believe that they can do it. When they saw me, they thought, now they can do it. So I get up every morning at 2:30, 3 o'clock. Why? Because greatness is upon me. Dr. King is dead. Malcolm X is dead. I'm that new guy. I'm that new inspiration. I'm the guy you look at when your daddy ain't in your life, when your daddy in prison. I'm that guy that comes to your high school and tell you, you can make it happen. Greatness is upon you. You better act like it.
What happens when life throws us a conflict or life doesn't give us what we work for and what we want? What happens when we're working for something and we sacrifice, stay dedicated, stay committed, and it gets time for it to happen and manifest, and God says no? What happened when you're married and you've been working on this marriage, you come into the house one day, you've been working on it, and your wife says, honey, I know we've been trying to work through this, but I don't love you no more, I want a divorce. What happens when you can interpret scripture, you can break it down, cut it, slice it, but you just can't seem to communicate with your 15-year-old son? What happens, better yet, you've been building a company, everything has been going great, and you get to the point to where it just doesn't work out the way that you want it to work out, and the opposition, the adversity, and the challenges set in, and now this is why I love adversity. Because adversity introduces you into who you really are as a person. And I don't even think more times than not, the problem is not even the adversity. The problem is when the adversity reveals who you really are, you can't take it.
You are hoping that the best is going to happen to you, and the best never happens to you. You got to create a product that people need, and you got to give it to them regularly. Like, thank God on Monday for the last 8 years, you just got to keep giving it to them. And the first year, nothing. The second year, nothing. The third year, a little something. The fourth year, a little bit more. By the fifth year, boom, you're a household name. I still got to work out. I still got to do TGIM. We still got to do the podcast. Like, nothing changes because I'm in a different country and I'm in today or tomorrow. Some of you are making the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
First is the time, right? People are not doing stuff with the time that they have, or they're doing low leverage activities with the time they have. And then they're not trying to increase their output per unit time, which means investing in their skill set. So like one of the easiest ways to gain leverage on your time, and when I say leverage, just for everybody, like leverage is the difference between inputs and outputs in a system. So, Archimedes said, if you give me a lever long enough, I can move the world. And so to the same degree, if you have enough skills, you can do anything, right? And so skills give you leverage on your time. So you get more out of each unit of time. So if I'm a master cold caller, I will get more sales and calls booked for the same unit of time than somebody who sucks at it. Same time, more output.
What are you doing before you go to sleep at night? Are you looking at Twitter? Are you looking at Instagram posts, Instagram videos? Mm-hmm. Tell me they're not like an addiction. Yeah. You get the Instagram video. Every one of them is funny. They're 38 seconds long. They're 1 minute long. Get to see people hurt themselves. Get to see people do dumb things. Make you feel good about yourself. Mm-hmm. I didn't do that dumb thing.
That's why losing in life is so important. Whether it's getting dumped, getting fired, losing a game, loss, those feelings where things didn't work out your way, that's important because it lets you know this is the bad feeling that comes when it goes wrong, and you improve, and then it makes the good feelings of victory all the better. And I mean that, in a relative sense, like even getting good at something, forget about victory, like making a terrible book that gets rejected by every publisher and then writing a really good one and people accept it and you're like, fuck, I got better. Yes. Like that's feeling.
Interesting, yeah.
Those feelings of failure are really critical for your motivation.
The biggest mistake a person can do right now, no matter in which situation you are, is to give up. You might not reach the best version of yourself in this lifetime, but a better one than you are right now. The main point is to find something that you are not standing still where you are right now. At least prepare yourself slowly, step by step, to get out of that hole right now.
You were scared you were gonna fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it until something fucking hits. You get fired or somebody else gets success to remind you of what you could have been. And then the fucking spark is born. And no matter what happens, I'm never gonna be in this boat again. And you get up and you go, even if it gets knocked down, you just keep going, you're a wild man. And life has never been so sweet. That can happen at an early age, it can happen at a later age. It's gonna happen to somebody no matter what, it's gonna happen to you. And when it does happen to you, thank your lucky stars that finally you're alive. It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. Superior, man. It's within you. It's within every single one of us. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us. It's just they believed it and they're willing to work their fucking ass off to get it.
Stop tripping when it gets dark and you running. You running from your success. Like that's what you're running from. So it took me 12 years to get a 4-year degree. I never quit because I realized, like, why would you do something for 10 years then quit? Why would you do something for 11 years then quit? So for a lot of you, if you was gonna quit, you should have quit when you put your first grand in it. You like 20,000 deep now. You like 9,800 hours deep into it. It only takes 10,000 hours. It is not the darkest moment that's the problem. You the problem, and your perspective is the problem. You thought you was just gonna have a dream and a goal, and you was just gonna wake up and just walk into the sunset. You're like, dream, boom. It don't work like that. You have a dream, and then life punks you. Life punks you and say, do you really want this? I'm gonna give your wife MS, do you really want this?
You have to come into work, and work is whatever your work may be, ready to go. And what that means is you may have failed miserably yesterday, but you come to work like, people are like, man, you just lost everything. How the hell are you this fucking damn motivated? Because this is what it takes. This is what the fuck it takes. And you got to get it from wherever you can. Whether you make up this illusion of your life or this false reality that gets you motivated, whatever gets you motivated, it's got to be here at the tip of your brain at all times. Because in those dark moments, you gotta pull it out. So that's the big thing for me, man. I was always fired up at all times.
Like when you say something to the extent of, not you, but just a person, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'm like, who promised you that? Right? I'll get to it a month from now. I'm like, who promised you that? Right? Because life changes so quick, right? And as people, we're often arrogant. I was one of them. We live our lives and we feel as if we're promised something, right? But when you think about it, it's like when we try to control things. But when you really think about the macro of life and the grand scheme of life, we really don't have any control, right?
When you eat a fucking great juicy steak, man, you want to have that again. When you go out and you train hard to play baseball and you connect and you hit the winning home run, you want to feel that way again. When you taste these finer things of life, all the pain, all the work, all the sacrifice to get them, it's well worth it. If anything, it's a small down payment for the price and the reward you got. And that feeling, once felt, how do you ever turn your back on it? Stop running from the potential of what you can be, guys. It's inside of you. It's always been there. Grab a buddy of yours. Say, man, me and you are gonna fucking do this together. And you're gonna be on my ass if I start slacking. I'm gonna be on your ass if I start slacking. And I'll never accept mediocre again.
You're gonna lose friends. Do you really want this? Your mama gonna be pissed when you write the book about your family. Do you really want this? Do you really want this? Cousins gonna abandon you. People that you used to be like this with gonna think you bougie and don't wanna deal with you. It's a part of it, but I paid too much. If I was gonna quit, I would have quit in an abandoned building when I wanted to commit suicide and take my life. And I don't talk about that because I don't want to get nobody ideas. I should have quit when I heard my voice say, your mama don't want you, your own daddy don't want you, take your life. I got through that, so why I'm gonna quit over a grade, an F on a grade? Why would I quit because I didn't do well on the master's degree? Come on. And so I'm telling y'all, you have come too far to quit now. You have invested too much to quit now. You have lost too much to quit now. Get a reward for your pain. Don't cry about it. Don't whine about it. Get a reward for it. The kinder you are, the more they try to play you like a fool.
Live in the moment. Stop trying to be alive and start living. Death is coming. When it comes, are you ready for it? Are you gonna stand up and dance at that fucking celebration? Or are you gonna be wishing, oh my God, because that's permanent, man. You can't change it. You can't reverse the clock. Try to make amends and do it right. You don't have time to say you're sorry and make it right. No, it's over with. That day comes. It's like studying for a test. That day is going to be tested. Do you pass or fail? It's a huge accountability of today. Just like I tell you guys, if you want to get in shape and stuff, you need an end state goal. You need a marathon you're running in 90 days, a competition or something that makes today accountable.
Now it's time for some real fucking talk. Maybe you're the only black person applying for a fucking job. Maybe you're the only female. Maybe you're the only fucking gay person. Job, whatever the fuck it may be. Maybe that shit's in your fucking head. Maybe that's your excuse for not being better. Life's a real big fucking picture. When I was young, all those things got in my head. Black, fucking not smart enough, single mom, all that bullshit owns space in my head. If you're allowing people and things and situations to own space in your fucking head, you're losing. Last thing, life's one big fucking head game. You play with yourself. If you lose, it's because you allow life to get in your fucking head. Stay hard.
All we have in life, guys, the only resource that's depreciating every single day is time. And it's up to us to take advantage of that time or not take advantage of the time. What I mean by that is that most people take holiday and let their diet go and break and, and it's cold and stuff and they don't want to get outside. Others that want to achieve things in life, they don't let this time go by. They make the most of this time and they get ahead during this time. Take it anywhere you want to go. It's a mobile workout that you don't need a gym membership for. You don't need any equipment for.
We can control what we possess. emotions, attitude, thought process, perspective, how we speak, how we respond. But just life in general, we have no control of that, right? You think about how many people woke up this morning thinking like, man, everything is gonna be great, and life changed, right? One day you wake up on top of the world, next day you wake up, world is on top of you.
If there's potential inside of you, which you know it's there, but you're too scared to tell anyone else about it, and you go on and on, get older and older and older and older, and the windows of opportunity start to close, and you knew it could have been given birth to, but you never did it, I promise you, it will haunt you. It'll be more, it's a living nightmare, dude. That fact that you have the ability to do something and you're too weak to fucking turn the key and start the engine on it is a greater disappointment and a greater burden to carry than any of this physical sweat equity or pain in the gym or sacrifice. All that is just nothing compared to a life.
This medical student approached me the other day, told me how hard he was studying, talking about these different tests he had to pass. He said, I studied my ass off for the step 1 test, and I failed it. There was an awkward silence between his question. I was waiting for more. There's a saying out there in the military. They say first time, every time. Well, I wasn't that guy. I failed everything I did the first time. I was known for coming back even harder after I failed. Success isn't a straight line. It's a maze. And when you think you figured that maze out, you hit a wall.
I got 90 days to make it right. I can't blow off today's responsibility to tomorrow because I lose 1/90 of a chance to cross that finish line of the marathon, to get on stage and have a chance of winning it, to create a dream into reality. I got 1/90 of a chance today. I can't blow it up. I got accountability today. Death is the ultimate accountability. It's only fearful if it comes and you're not ready yet. That's when it's fearful. When you haven't been able to say goodbye to somebody. When you didn't live in the moment with a friend or loved one or family member. And you no longer have time to let them know what you think. That's when it becomes scary. You know, my dogs and my family and stuff, I love them to death. Every minute with them, I embrace, I love it. I never want it to end, but it will end. We come into this world by ourselves. We leave this world by ourselves. We had the opportunity to engage while here, but we leave alone.
A lot of people that, you know, make it to a certain successful point in life. Because a lot of people can give up. It's easy to give up. You know, easy. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm done. I ain't going. Oh yeah. I ain't gonna keep going. Yeah, I don't feel like going to work. I'm done.
Yeah, man.
It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying.
There is no get out of jail free card. This is why I say stay hard. Because when you weren't given the gifts, the only thing you can do in life is stay hard. And I know people cannot stand me. They can't stand this talk. This is all you can do. There's no magic pill or a magic potion. All you can do is outwork the man that God created or woman in you. And what that looks like is unfun. That's why I said, do not do a documentary on me. Because people will not see the truth. They will see what they want to see is, I don't want to live like that. Good. And you will live exactly the way you live now.
All you need now is a little imagination. And your imagination, guys, whether you want to believe it or not, is a preview of your life's coming attractions. And if you can't imagine what it's going to be, don't ever expect physically to look in the mirror and see it. These times right now are these little adversities with the climate and the weather and environment and stuff are blessings in disguise.
Because you're not like everybody else.
You know, when you're built different than everybody else, and you have this desire for more, and this desire for achievement, and this desire to win, everybody else looks at you like you're fucked up, and they'll tell you that too. You know, what the f- is wrong with you? Like, why can't you just relax? Why can't you just do this? Why can't? Because I'm just not built that way, man. And as I've gotten a little bit older, I've gotten better at accepting it, and it's sort of embracing the fact that this provides a lot of good. But there's a lot of things that you have to deal with that come that aren't so good.
It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely.
So I've been grinding lately. Had to go back to the fucking lab, readjust some shit in my brain, put a lot of miles in every day. Run over 20 miles a day, getting up early, going to bed early, eating the right shit. This last week, started taking a toll on me. I usually don't think too much. Get my shoes on, head the fuck out. I've been thinking a lot. That internal voice that they're talking to me, talking about, oh man, you're tired. Looking at my shoes about 30 minutes before I put the motherfuckers on. Pushing back the time of that I go out to go run. So I decided to tape record myself. That internal voice I put on tape sounds like a straight bitch when I listen to that motherfucker. So if you ever have a hard time out there, tape yourself. Listen to what kind of bitch you're being. Stay home.
It's a dog fight. The road hadn't been success. Like, it's just a paved road, and like E.T. go this way. It's been rough. It's been crooked. It's been hard. But I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life, and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. You will not stop me. You will not defeat me. The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dog fight. If you're ready to quit, don't get started. If you're looking for this easy path, don't get started. If you think they're not going to close the door on you and say no a million times, don't get started. But every time they close the door, I just get excited. Why? Because I am not a no. I'm one yes away. That's what you're not prepared for. That's what you're not thinking. You're not thinking when you go out there to defend yourself that your gun is gonna jam. You're not thinking when you go out there that your boy gonna get killed and you gotta drag. You're not thinking that.
Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals. Yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. I try to give myself a goal every day.
How did you get to where you're at today? How did you get to where you're running 200 miles at one time in 39 hours, being so disciplined? It started off, honestly, with recognizing that my bedroom was dirty. My bed wasn't made. I lived a sloppy life. So I took very small increments in my life. I started making my bed. I started cleaning my room.
Know what you want. What do you want in your marriage? What do you want with your son and your daughter? What do you want in your health? What do you want financially? Like, how much money do you want to make a year? What do you want to drive? How do you want to live? Stop just waking up like an accident. What do you want? And then once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it. I'm talking about my life, not something that I read. I ate out of trash cans. There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse. I changed, and I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me, and I said I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power every single day I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim. Winners win and losers lose. If you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
It can be so real that you're not going to understand. It can be so real, like you can't go to the Bible and get a verse for it. It can be so real. You can't go to the Quran. It can be so real. Like you can't go to the church house based on Catholic. Like it can be so real that you're not going to understand it. You just got to survive it, doc. Right?
Someone's heartbeat is constantly beating for it. Not just when people are watching, not just in training, but when they're sleeping, they're dreaming of it. It's a constant cycle. How do you know when you're on the right path? When the small nuances in life that people don't really value, they consider a nuisance, you consider them as valuable as the big events when everyone is watching. When you perform to a certain level when no one's watching, you build a level of excellence about yourself that stands the test of time. No matter what happens in front of you, you are character true, code of conduct pure. I know who you are because you're the same person. In adversity, in victory, in defeat, you're the same motherfucker.
You have to be trained for it. For when that time comes, you're like, okay, I'm deep in qualified.
Boom, come on, don't be afraid. Everybody has that voice in their head that says, hey, could you really do this? Is it gonna happen? A lot of times we all say, somebody blows a whistle and says, all right, come on, you don't belong here, get out of here, we're taking you back. That's not the way it is. If you believe it, if you really believe that you could be something, if you have that little voice in your head saying, hey, you got talent, you could do this. Son, don't worry, you're gonna do it, you're gonna make it.
This ain't you. You weren't born like this. This ain't you, the real you, bro. Study all you want to, but the second that fucking computer comes on with 150 questions, this ain't you, man. And somehow, it comes back, I passed. Passed again. But that real me back here every fucking time is saying, that ain't you, bro. That ain't you. And I have to outwork that voice.
You might think that life is unfair. You might think that life dealt you a bad hand, but I'm here to tell you life will give you exactly what you tolerate. And if you've been tolerating mediocrity, you've been tolerating average, you've been tolerating this victim mentality that you're carrying, then guess what? You have exactly what you deserve. I know those are harsh words, but I'm going to tell it to you. Because if I kept believing this false narrative that I'm an immigrant, I'm always going to be blue collar, that I don't belong here, that I'm unlovable because I was molested, because I was beaten, because I was bullied, because I was told to go back to my own country, because I've got learning disabilities, that I'm supposed to be broke, that I'm supposed to be desperate, that I'm supposed to be approval seeking, validation seeking, putting other people on pedestals. Because of that shit, fuck you. Don't ever for a moment undersell yourself.
There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else, they didn't have what you had. Yet now they're fucking gonna become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, you know, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out, or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, you know, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a fucking day where push comes to shove, where being mediocre, being like average and shit just fucking burns. It sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day, and you get off your fucking ass. And you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out. But you've never wanted to unwrap it because it's too much fucking pain and commitment.
Get a lot of questions about how I lost so much weight. People want to know how they can get started. So basically, you're thinking too much off the bat. When I lost my fucking weight, I didn't look for a trainer. I didn't do all that thinking. I didn't go on Jenny Craig. I didn't do all that shit. What I did was I basically stopped eating so much fucking food. I cut my calories down. So as far as the workout goes, We overthink that also. Until you find a trainer, go out there and start fucking walking. Put some shoes on, start running. Go to the gym, get the elliptical trainer. It's not rocket science. A lot of folks talk about overtraining. You gotta train first before you can overtrain. Sometimes you wake up in the morning time and you're sore and you feel like you're overtrained. No, you got sore fucking legs. Get out of your own head and stop overthinking it. Stay hard.
And when you get to success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it's about stamina. It's about stamina. It's about you won't break me. You can't take me. I fought too long. I fought too hard. If I was going to quit Satan, you should have got me at 17.
You can't be weak. And in this country, being weak is thought of as a virtue.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson has a really interesting way of looking at this, and he said it to me once, and it made a lot of sense. He said, people think that you should be weak and you should be docile, and then you should be a pacifist. He goes, no, you should be a monster. He said, you should be a monster, you should be ruthlessly ambitious, and then learn how to control it.
You have to work hard. Everybody in this room knows if it's worth something to you, you got to put in the effort. And you know, the tricky thing, as we know with social media, is you let people in a little bit, you let them in on what you want them to see, but at the end of the day, I always feel like social media may be the tip of the iceberg that you allow people to see, but it's everything underneath the water.
If you grind, you will be broke the rest of your life, or you will barely make it. This society did not become rich by workers. It came rich by the people who knew how to put the workers to work. Kill that workers mentality. You value effort over execution. I'm trying to blow up after the blow up. I'm number one. Now I'm trying to find out what's after number one. And you know what that is? That's not a speaker, that's a businessman.
So this morning, I was getting ready to go for a run with a few guys. So I was taking my shirt off, and they saw my stretch marks. And one guy asked me, where the fuck you get those stretch marks from? Tried to share with this guy what all this scarring was. That was 297 pounds, insecure, had doubts, had a fucked up mind. So there's a lot of scars we have on our bodies that people can see, and they tell a story. But a lot of us have scars in our brains about fucked up lives, bad childhoods, bad adulthood, whatever the fuck you're going through. Those scars in your brain, we don't talk about, we hide. Scarring is proof that our past is real, but the one thing we do is we allow it to control our lives. And we get off the log. Well, it's time to get back on the log and not have those scars define the rest of your fucking life. Sometimes you gotta fight pain with pain. Stay hard.
The person that you wanted to be the priority, you weren't the priority to that person. I made work a priority. You have the right to take precedent. You have the right to be a priority. And God told me to tell you today that as soon as He becomes the priority, everything in your life about to change. You so broke because money is your priority. Your challenge is you can't pray enough. You can't read enough Bible scripture. Until you feel like you are a priority, it's all a waste of time. And there's something that happened in your life. You messed up, you did something wrong, somebody said you did something wrong, and now that's become your new benchmark when priority should be your benchmark.
Toughness is not about how many push-ups you can do or what you can bench press or how far you can run. Toughness is in the mind, and your body can be the most perfect, the most conditioned specimen. But if you don't have a tough mind, if you don't have a toughness of the mind, if you don't have a tough will, you're not tough. It's all pointless. So if someone were to come to me and say, Dwayne, how do I was not raised to be a tough man. Where do I start? You start with your mind. You start with your mind. And how do you start with your mind? You put yourself in tough situations that you can overcome, but it ain't easy. Because your mind and your will always quit before your body does.
Look, when you're a kid, you're all potential. It's chaotic potential. It can manifest itself in any number of ways.
It's like our minds are like a fucking garage. And the garage, if you open a garage that's all cluttered up, it's all fucked up, you can't put your car in there. You got fucking boats and you got fucking kids' toys and shit everywhere. But if you organize that fucking garage, you put everything in its rightful spot, you can pull that car in there, you can put 2 cars in there, you can put bikes in there. And that's like with the mind. People talk about discipline and fucking determination and fucking, repetitions and all this shit. Consistency. Why people fall off the wagon so often is because their mind is full of shit. There's no room in that mind for discipline. There's no room for consistency. They may do it once or twice, but then the mind takes over and that cluttered fucking garage comes in, and then it's like a circuit breaker, man. A circuit breaker just overloads and fucking sparks. And our minds, that's our mind, man.
Maybe you don't want to give that up, so you're like Peter Pan. You want to be a kid forever because you don't want to give up the potential. And you look out in the world and all you see are Captain Hooks, who've lost a hand, who are chased by death because that's the clock in the crocodile. It's already got a taste of him. He's terrified by death and he's a tyrant. Well, I don't want to grow up to be that, so I won't be disciplined at all.
We have 2 voices in our mind, and boy, I know they're fucking true. I've heard them. I hear them now. And they're real. There's that one voice, that voice I used to love to fucking hear, that we love to hear. It's that soft motherfucker. That soft motherfucking voice that says, sleep the fuck in. It's okay. It's that coddling voice. You want to be hugged and nurtured and all that shit that says it's going to be okay. Well, there's another motherfucking voice that wakes you up in the middle of the night. It's not your girlfriend. It's not your boyfriend. It's that demon fucking voice that whispers in your fucking ear that says, get up, motherfucker. You're not fucking good enough. You gotta work fucking harder. You haven't put enough time in. It's that voice you want to run away from. It's that voice you don't want to fucking hear. But guess what? It's that voice you need to fucking listen to. Stay hard. Listen to the whisper.
So listen to me. It's not hardships that hurt us. It's not my cousin getting shot twice. It's not my cousin spending 50 years in jail. It's not my aunt dying of cancer. It's not my wife being diagnosed with 7 lesions on her brain that will break you. What will break most people is you didn't prepare for that. But you never prepared. For a diamond to be produced, it has to go through extreme pressure, extreme heat. And if that wasn't enough, what makes a diamond is the cut. So you are put through, if you want to be a diamond, you must go through extreme pressure.
If you go to bed on time, it's less likely that you'll get mugged. It's less likely you'll be in a car accident. Like there's all of these downstream impacts from one single behavior. And you also have better quality sleep in general if you go to sleep at the same time every day over and over again. So that means that you have life extension, things that happen, you look younger. And so now 5 years, 10 years later, people are like, wow, you look so good for your age. There's all of these things from one central behavior, which is just fucking go to bed on time. And so if you want the action for this, you set your alarm for when you go to bed, not for when you wake up. If you set your alarm for when you go to bed, you will always be able to wake up naturally at whatever time you wake up. And it's very difficult to oversleep when you go to bed at 9 because you can get 8 hours of sleep and still be up by 5.
You can speak about it all day. The easiest thing in the world to do is to complain, blame, and quit and settle. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. But it takes real work to deconstruct and to reconstruct the thought process and the mindset of an individual when they're trying to change something. That's why I always say to people, what's more important, what we acquire or who we become, right? What's more important, what we acquire or who we become? Materialistic, superficial, it's cool. But the people that we become, the thoughts we think, the words we speak, that's something that's gonna travel with us forever, right? You can lose a car, get another one tomorrow. But the people that we become as a result of the processes that we lock into every single day for the things that we aspire to get or the people that we aspire to become, that takes real work, and we got to be willing to do that.
The thing, if you're going to make money, is that you're not going to get rich renting out your time. Even lawyers and doctors who are charging $300, $400, $500 an hour, they're not getting rich because their lifestyle is slowly ramping up along with their income, and they're not saving enough. They just don't have that ability to retire. Mm-hmm. So the first thing you have to do is you have to own a piece of a business. You need to have equity, either as an owner, an investor, shareholder, or a brand that you're building that accrues to you to gain your financial freedom.
Just put your shoes on and I'll do the rest. I can't put your shoes on for you, but put your shoes on and then just go. And I just went And I was walking do the 11 incline, boy, and I was just walking for an hour, and I was just like, you know what, it's almost an hour, I don't feel like running. Listen to me, I became #1 in the world. I became a millionaire not because I made more money. I became a millionaire because they told me millionaires only live off of 30% of their income. I became a millionaire because I did what millionaires did. I stopped living off 100%. To be rich, put 6 months of your earning to the side.
So I've been grinding lately. Had to go back to the fucking lab, readjust some shit in my brain, put a lot of miles in. Every day, run over 20 miles a day, getting up early, going to bed early, eating the right shit. This last week, it started taking a toll on me. I usually don't think too much. Get my shoes on, head the fuck out. I've been thinking a lot. That internal voice has been talking to me, talking about, oh man, you're tired. Looking at my shoes about 30 minutes before I put the motherfuckers on. Pushing back the time of that I go out to go run. So I decided to tape record myself. That internal voice I put on tape sounds like a straight bitch when I listen to that motherfucker. So if you ever have a hard time out there, tape yourself. Listen to what kind of bitch you're being. Stay hard.
How long that lie you live in? How long you think that lie gonna live? And the only reason you telling a lie is not because you don't know the truth, but you're worried about what other people are gonna think about your truth.
I'm not gonna work out today. Well, it's Christmas. It's New Year's. It's my birthday. You think time gives a fuck that it's Christmas, that it's New Year's, that it's your birthday? You give me too many fucking options. Let me tell you one thing. Time is running out. You keep on sitting around wondering what the fuck you want to do. You're just gonna run out of time. So make sure you do one thing. Stop following the fucking crowd. They may take time off, but you can't afford to. Stay hard.
It does not matter what another human says. Humans don't create like that anyway. God is the creator. We're just suppliers. We the substitute. That is the source. If the source tell you something, you ain't got to worry about what a substitute teacher tell you.